What's good, Kenny?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How was your New Year's, by the way?
It was not crazy eventful, pretty chill. Sorry about that noise in the background. That was my phone. Um, yeah, brought in the New Year. Was with family. Ball drop. Set off the kids set off fireworks. My dad shot the gun in the air. Everybody
Oh,
had
for
a
real?
great time. Got drunk and passed out pretty much, and that was the New Year. So that's how mine was. Nothing crazy significant, and I really need to discuss. But it was a New Year, 2025. Brought it in, kicked it.
Yeah, 2025 is gonna be a wild year, so
Oh,
buckle up,
why do
buckle
you
up,
say
people.
that? Why do you say that?
Oh, you know why? I'm not gonna get into the politics of this crazy
Uh,
country, but
okay,
they're gonna
okay.
be I'm gonna say this, like my man Skill said on Wrap Up 2024. He
Hmm.
said black people have been here. We dealt with all y'all bullshit. Now y'all about to wild out. We're gonna have to check y'all's asses. And like he said, there's gonna be a lot of pain, and there's gonna be a lot of fights, and y'all gonna get punched in your face. With that said, welcome to 20 fucking 25.
All right. So let's get into. Oh, wait. How was your New Year? You didn't tell me about yours.
It was chill, man. I fell asleep.
So you didn't make.
I
You
was
wasn't
like,
up at midnight.
I don't think I was, man. I think I woke up afterwards. One cool thing I saw is this guy had this firework. He blew it off somewhere here in California, and it was the coolest fire. It was only one firework, but it was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my life. And people were like, "Yo, that was absolutely beautiful." You said you'll go to firework displays and not see a firework that looked like that. It was really cool. It was called like bronze and silver or something like that. It was pretty damn awesome. It was huge,
And this
huge. Like
was where was this at?
somewhere in Cali, man.
And
You
you
just
can.
saw this dude. I mean, it was
Oh,
about half his height. So he was a tall dude. It was like up to his chest.
mhm.
He lit it, ran down the street, and it went up in the air. And it was so big that it filled the camera.
Oh
And
wow.
there were
Okay.
multiple camera angles of it. It was damn cool.
Okay. Okay. Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Dope.
And
So
then
yeah.
we jumped right into, your boy Snoop.
My boy Snoop.
Your boy
Nah,
Snoop dropped an album that I heard that you freaking loved it. I heard that
no.
you sleep to this album.
Nah, you're horribly wrong. Nah, so yeah, Snoop and Dre, they did drop an album. I did listen to it. You are the one that sent this to me. Well, I knew it was out, but I hadn't got a chance around to really listen to it. And because in my opinion right now, and there's no harm to Snoop or Dr. Dre, their music is so more nostalgic for me than anything else that I don't it's not what I'm gonna run to because I really want to hear it because it's not gonna be like some new groundbreaking new whatever. It's good. It's
I
gonna
get
be
that.
Snoop. It's gonna be Dre. So I didn't mean I might listen to it. I probably listened to it overall 3 times. More before the New Year's because I thought we were going to be able to talk about it, but holiday season, New Year's break, Christmas, all that stuff. But I think there's only like 3 songs on it that I actually enjoy and like. Other than that, it's a good project. I'm not mad at it. It's just that it's Snoop and Dre. I mean, and I'm still waiting for the next Chronic album to come out, and which will probably never come out. But that would have been more important for me to hear because I think Dre, not being the rapper's rapper, would probably get more people to be on the album
Hmm.
than just it being basically a Snoop album that Dre did the production on. So I didn't.
Now, if they do a another album like that, and it has Kendrick and it has like the Game and all these West Coast rappers on it, that would probably be
Now
pretty damn dope.
that would be something I would go out of my way to listen to because then that would be Dre doing the over severely overdue Chronic project again.
Yeah,
That
no, I
basically
agree
that's what
with
he did in
you.
the first one. So yeah, I mean that's what I would want. But I mean, this album, if you are a diehard Snoop fan or you love just that nice West Coast sound and all that, then this album is not a bad album by any means. It's just for me, it wasn't nothing more than Snoop and Dre just putting out a project because they can. I think it was very much a passion project of Snoop's, kind of in a
Hmm.
way. But Snoop is now he's bigger than just being Snoop the rap star to me. He did the Olympics. He's all over television all the time. I mean, he's bigger than just being a rap star. So making a rap album, I get it. You still can, and people are probably going to listen to it, and it's appreciated. But it wasn't nothing super crazy. So when you said that the review said it was a 94 out of, what was it, from Metacritic?
It's 95 now because I gave it a thumbs up too. It's still 94%. It has a 94% rating on it. So people overall, this is an album that has positive reviews. I enjoyed this album. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think much of rap, nothing in rap right now is pushing, like elevating. Okay, Doechii, or am I saying it right?
Doechii.
Yeah. Okay, she's the Broadway of rap right now. Like, I'll give her that. She dope. She's the Lauryn Hill of right now. But we're in a time where that might not matter. I mean,
that's the sad part. That is that thing right? You just said is the sad part.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem. I don't think that. Let's talk about Black culture, for instance, right? So you had the, electric boogaloo sound, breakdancing, the boom bop. Then you had like the kind of the beginnings of gangster rap with Big Daddy Kane and those guys. And then you had this sweeping change that pushed rap into the gangster era with like NWA and other groups of that time who took it to a different level. It was relatively different. When the NWA pushed rap forward, it was a completely different sound than what we expected, right? So you got Ice Cube, you got these individuals, Dr. Dre, all of them changing what that rap sounded at the time. Now we have this amalgam of rap. There's nostalgic rap. For instance, when I sent you a what you call it yesterday from one of the
LeVar Ball, the Jello Ball,
LaMelo Ball, which has the nostalgia of the 90s. It's a great song, ain't breaking anything. It's cyclical. I love it. People are bopping to it and ain't changing anything. Be honest with you. I think if rap is going to change, it's going to come through Andre 3000. I think whatever he chooses to do next, whatever thing he does will be whatever the next type of music. I think Black people are, as a culture, have exasperated anything that rap can do. We're going to just give that to white people. Just like we gave them rock and we gave them all these different things. They got country. We used it. We made it hot. And we don't need it no more. We just pass it on to somebody else. And you can see with rap, there's a lot of these white rappers and out there who pretty unimportantly popular. And I say unimportant because who cares? I mean, I didn't know that Moses Malone still existed. I was surprised when people were talking about, like, oh, he's still rapping?
Post Malone.
I didn't know that.
Well, Post Malone.
See what I'm saying? Moses Malone, Post Malone, it don't matter because no one cares. It's irrelevant.
No, Post Malone still is relevant, but he's not relevant to the rap culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The culture is moving in a different direction. And I don't know what the next big thing is. But I mean, I had this argument with this guy because they're doing R&B mixes of our songs in Korea, pop music. Yeah, and acting like that's new. And I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. We were doing that in the 80s.
I went down that rabbit hole of K-pop music. I was like, all it is Korean artists singing what you can very clearly hear are old R&B songs that they just redid. And I mean, it's funny to me. And it's like the biggest thing. I'm like, but
it's, you know how irrelevant you are if you remixing and doing what we did 40 years ago.
But I look at it from this point, because for the younger generation that did not grow up with that music, even hearing it in a different way to them is like the most awesomest thing. And because I mean, I watched the video that you sent me from the company, man, and the way he talks about how things go, what he said, like a 20-25 year cycle. And it's kind of true, because I am basically almost double that age. So that means I've experienced the cycle over again. and
Yep.
I is not the same value to me as I think it would be if I had never heard it. So I understand when some of the younger kids, they think it's like the most newest and greatest thing, because you got to even think. I know when I grew up, my parents, they would play like New Edition and stuff like that in the household, cleaning up or whatever. These kids,
Yeah.
they probably only know like a New Edition song if it's like a seasonal song for like Christmas or something like that. But now somebody new can come along and redo Mr. Telephone Man and put it to whatever type of beat, and they would swear it's like the newest, most creative thing. I'm like, no, New Edition made this song when they were like 12 and 13. But to them it wouldn't matter because they have never heard that in its original state or form anymore. So
yeah, no, and I'm not dunking on it for that reason. But what I'm saying is people keep looking for the next thing in rap, and I think there's no next thing in rap. I just don't think Doeche is great, and she should be the next sound of rap, but she won't be because rap has come to a point of, I don't want to say irrelevance, but is it wrong to say at this point, overall, rap and its influence has become pop, and when pop becomes pop, it becomes a bit irrelevant?
I can say yes. You can make that statement. That statement makes sense to me. I understand perfectly what you're saying. I will retort with this. The next big thing that could happen in rap, in my opinion, is because right now female rappers are like the big thing. The catch
Okay, I'll give you that.
that there is not a lot of conscious female rappers. Now, if that takes a good hold, it becomes a thing. Because right now, female rappers are the shit. Female rappers are running everything.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
And Doeche, she's on the front line because she is more of a creative rapper and on the front. Not much as in a conscious rapper.
Yeah.
But I think when a female rapper that is good comes out and is a conscious female rapper, that'll change. Because right now, most of the female rap music is basically very sexually explicit, very bravado of the female stance. Not really that creative. Doeche is a creative, and so that's the good part about her. But until there's just like this explosive, conscious female rapper, like there was kind of like you can say Queen Latifah, Moni,
Queen Latifah,
but until
Lauryn
one of
Hill,
those,
MC Light.
But until one of those is of this new era, that'd be the only next step that I can think of that will even push hip hop just a little bit more further before I think the wheels would quote unquote fall off, and there's pretty much nothing else you can do with it.
All right, I'll give you that. That's probably a great way to diagnose that situation, is by saying that in particular. I cannot disagree with that. I don't know where music's going to go. It's kind of like classical music, right? Classical music is really old. It's so old to the point now that Nas has got a classical music album. He's got a symphonic album that is dope. Right? When classical becomes rap, there's nowhere else for classical music to go. And so there's never going to be some groundbreaking moment in classical music, right? I think we're at that point faster than anyone would ever expect to be with rap. Poetry will always be important. Poetry is so genuine and vulnerable, right? And it's too much capitalism in music as a whole right now. And exploitative capitalism negates any growth. And I think now we have more exploitative capitalism than we've ever had. And it's about milking a thing. Let me give you an example. So one of my favorite things to watch is a individual who talks about movies and videos. He's like a historical philosopher when it comes to movies and stuff like that. And yesterday I was listening to him talk about what happened to Hollywood. And he said one of the problems that happened with Hollywood is they changed, and when they started to make new films, the films had to have two things. One, it had to have an audience already. So it couldn't be a new IP, a new idea. And then the second thing, it had to have broad appeal. So even though it was something that had an audience already, it had to have broad international appeal. So now it has to be something that both people know about and lives internationally. That's very difficult to achieve. So now all these great ideas that these individuals, like the reason why people love Nope so much, because it challenges those things. This is a concept that doesn't have broad appeal and doesn't have an international audience. Those films are even older and rarer in this world today. I don't even know what happened. How did that happen?
Because
Was that
I
you?
think your phone has a motion thing the iPhone thing when you do certain gestures, it gives you certain stuff. It was a,
Oh,
it was just a balloon.
it's some AI thing, man. I done did something and my phone did it for the first time. Like, happy birthday. It's
Yeah,
something I
that's what
must have said.
happened. um, I would say the problem that I see with Hollywood is like what you said. It repeats the same thing, but it's like they don't want to take the risk to invest in something that they think is going to fail. But that is the thing of how creative new ideas and things happen when you take the risk. But the only people that's taking the risk are like independent filmmakers, or if you're producing a whole film yourself, then yeah, you can take that risk, and it's always a great payoff. But then right after that happens, all of a sudden Hollywood, big Hollywood, comes running. Oh, can you do a part two? Can you make it on this? But they just ride on the
Yes.
coattails of some original idea, and that's what it's like. I only want to go to the movies now if it's something that is brand spanking new that I don't know what it's going to be about.
Yes. Yes.
But
Like, you know
I
what I'm
don't.
excited to see? It's the
What?
movie Sinner. I want to know what the hell that's about.
I
So
see. I haven't even seen
it's
a
a
preview
black
of that.
film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's by the producers of Black Panther.
Okay.
And all it shows is some black people inside of a barn talking about whatever's outside that door. And it just says Sinner. No idea what it's about. That is a film I want to see.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I mean. Stuff like that. Like, I took it off, but I was gonna talk about the Superman thing because it's like, all right, I know they want Superman to be like the good movie because Batman for DC is one who kills it all, but they want it. So I noticed in the preview that I watched, even though it's bright, it's a bright movie looking, but it seems so dark because you just see Superman fall from the sky. He's all messed up, and then he tells the to take him home, Meteor, or I forgot the dog's name, to take him home. But it's just that they like, we want Superman to be the big shit. We want our good superhero movie. We're going to use Superman, but we know that only dark superhero movies kind of work right now. So they're just reapplying the same basically paint to this movie.
I hope they don't do that because the thing is, we don't need a dark Superman.
I mean, we already had the movie, what is it? Something Burn or Deep Burn, Dark Burn.
You talking about, oh yes, that was good though.
Yes, but that was good. That was because nobody was used to seeing or hearing about a negative Superman. Everybody's so used to the good. But I think they're trying to make a good Superman. But Brightburn, there you go, Brightburn. But I think that's what they're trying to do with it. So, I mean, it was nothing that was going to drag me to the movies to see. But that was the whole thing about like, the picture's still bright, but I can tell they're trying to get that whole Dark Knight Arises thing with when Batman is broken, but he recovers. When generally Superman, he kind of, I mean, in the comic books he died, but it was very different. But I think that's what they're trying to do. But like you said, that movie Sinner.
We just need a positive, happy-go-lucky Superman and let him be a good person like he was in every story. Everybody wants the Christopher Reeve Superman.
But we've seen that movie. It's like for us, or for me, I would say, that's not something I'm going to go see. I've already seen all the Supermans before when I was growing up. Now the younger kids,
though. There's nothing
they want to go see it.
Original about these Supermans. I mean, it's again, broad appeal, international audience, Superman. It's not going to push anything. It's not going to challenge anything, no matter what they say, no matter how they sell it. It could be a great Superman, but it'll be a Superman you've seen before or you can watch right now. You can go watch Christopher Reeve Superman and get that Superman. If you want to see a dark Superman, you can watch Henry Cavill Superman. You can see those Supermans. Didn't change anything. I agree with you.
So,
and therein lies the conflict with art today. There's just too much capitalism in it, and American capitalism is absolutely 100% exploitative, and we can't get free from that. There's no way to get free from that because we created this situation. We embrace this situation, and Americans, until they push off those shackles and free themselves for the bullshit, we won't get there. Because right now, more than ever, y'all embrace that. Y'all embracing the most exploitative type of capitalism, and that's identity politics. Identity politics only exists to keep us from being united against the exploitative and destructive parts of capitalism. They use it, they profit from it, they get paid off all of that. And people are embracing. Man, you know what was crazy? So I go in the comment section and I'm not really looking at the comment section, but when you open up live video of the fires in LA, how dumb people are, right? Just how dumb, like we live in a desert. They're like, oh, they should build more reservoirs. They be empty. The reservoirs need to collect water. It does not rain in California. We are a desert. You know where we get our water from? The Colorado River. And we can't just steal all the Colorado River for ourselves. We have to share that with the other nations, other states. Arizona, Nevada. We don't have our own water. And people are like, oh, you can get water from the ocean. All right. The energy to desalinate the water in the ocean is wasteful. And you can't just pull water from the ocean and run it through metal. It's corrosive. They're like, why don't they go to the ocean and put the ocean water in the airplanes and drop it on the fire? I said, you do that twice, and in a week, you can't use that plane anymore because it's corroded.
Look, I don't.
I mean, just common sense.
I just hope that the impact of the fires are as minimal as they can be, even if.
They're not. They won't be. There's something like.
And hopefully, nobody else loses their life, and the recovery after the fact can be well done and swift, and everybody can be made as possible whole again. That's
so
my.
The only reason I bring that up when we're talking about rap music and its future and music itself is that until we change the conditions for which this medium lives in, it's only going to become more corrosive. Like you said, the only reason there isn't a really popular conscious female rapper is because there's no appetite for that. I have an appetite for that. You have an appetite for that. But the world doesn't have an appetite for an honest black woman or a white woman telling the truth. They can't handle it. We had Lauryn Hill. They tried to run her. They literally made her stop doing music. Only reason she does concerts now is to pay for taxes. That's only reason she doing music. I don't know if she loves the art.
I don't know what she does either. I mean, well, even when she does that, she doesn't show up to her shows on time, and she has a bad reputation for that. But I do know that she tries to promote her son because her son is an artist too, and apparently he's really, really good. I think I've only heard like one song by him, and it was pretty decent. So, but
all right, I look forward to hearing his stuff. I miss Lauryn Hill's voice though. You know, like I think music would be very different today if some things were just true. Pac and Big did not die. Punisher did not die. Lauryn Hill didn't get exploited by Wyclef and the music industry. I think the world would be really different right now musically. But those things happen.
Unfortunately.
You know, they happen. And now we got knockoff, Tupac, which was Ja Rule. And I'm not saying Ja Rule was Tupac, but he was just a knockoff of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? DMX was dope, but DMX had so many demons and he was such a broken soul. He never had an opportunity because the environment he lived in was so caustic.
Nah, I don't ever say that Ja Rule was a knockoff Tupac. Ja Rule, he grew where that Tupac look aesthetic mixed with the DMX aesthetic. But if you believe it or not, and I'm not the biggest Ja Rule fan, Ja Rule was actually very innovative in his music though. He had the more of
I
the ballad of
I
the
like Ja
but then
Rule,
because most
but
people
you know what
don't even
happened to
get
Ja Rule?
what
50 Cent.
yeah,
The
but
50 Cent.
50 Cent basically took what Ja Rule did and made it his own, and unfortunately, he bullied him out of the way. So that's why, I know I make fun of Ja Rule a lot, actually, but as in due respect to his art and what he was doing within hip hop rap, he did do something that was very new. It was just, in my perspective, he got caught up with the way a rapper that is street needed to look like Tupac,
Mm-hmm.
how they needed to act like DMX, and then that he made different music, but then you had this other one who made grimy music, but actually could do other people's music well, 50 Cent, and was just better
Yeah.
at business than him. And that's how Ja Rule got bullied out. And plus, they had actual real life
Real world
issues
beef.
with them with each other. So, but
Mm-hmm.
that's how it goes. So, and I always think it's funny because yes, I could look at Ja Rule and look at Tupac like, yep, he does have the aesthetic of him. But I think that was just part of unfortunately the music business made him like
Yeah,
that.
it was
Because when
marketing.
Ja Rule first came out, he was part of Cash Money Click, not not the New Orleans rappers, but it was a New York rap group called that, and he didn't have that look.
Yeah, no, it was marketing. And marketing, and I said again, capitalism spoils everything, man. It really is a problem. But the only reason I brought up the Los Angeles thing is because things are obvious in your face what the conflict is. And yet people are so connected to blaming other people, except for acknowledging almost always is capitalism. And it's the type of exploitative capitalism and social economic policies that we have that lead to these things like drill rap, drill rap, all that nonsense out of Chicago. That's poverty. That's poverty and people having to cut each other's necks to get a dime. When you gotta like Jay-Z said, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. You put all these fish in a barrel, they gotta survive, and then you act as if somehow these things are unique. You know what I'm saying? Those rap that shouldn't exist in an environment of economic quality. Those things don't exist. It can't exist, but
Okay.
it exists because we created economic policy that embraces and supports that. It's a problem. And so when I listen to music today, man, I hear a lot of exploitation. I hear a lot of people exploiting other people's cultures to make a dime. I don't hear original stuff in most music. Now, there are a lot of independent artists, not rap, that do unique things, but it's still the same. You know, it's still the same. And I don't know what will have to change melodically. And that's what I was talking about with Andre 3000. Melodically, what he's doing is unique, even from what existed. Most people don't have not attached to the sound that he creates out of his flute. Who in the world would think melodically that would be something that you'd be interested in? It sounds great. He he's right there at taking that and enveloping it into something that will change will influence everyone else. And I'm up for that. I don't know where it goes, but I'm here for it.
No, the
Because
only
I tell you one thing, I'm mostly bored by popular music.
Okay. I mean, I can respect that. If you're bored with the popular music, then by all means, because there's new starving artists existing and coming about all the time. But that
Yes.
does take the part where you got to take the time and go and look out and search out that music. I mean, and that's like you know me, I love rap. But I mostly listen to a bunch of artists that most people don't listen to. But I'm actually a person that would take the time to go, hey, what's this on SoundCloud? What's this on SoundCloud? Who's this song? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll listen to any and everything. I know all the popular people and everything, but that's if you look at my playlist, it's not going to be the top artists that everybody's going to name all the time. I mean, that's how my music listening tastes go. Uh, the one last thing on Andre 3000 is the fact that he still owes the record label one rap album. because they said no. Even though you dropped the flute album, that's not a rap album, so you still owe us another album. So he has to eventually give them another actual rap album.
Yeah, and I look forward to that. I really do.
But is he going
Mostly
to be passionate in it if he's being forced to do it?
Well, I mean, I don't think he'll be forced to do it.
Or
I think the fact that he hasn't done it is evidence that he isn't being forced to do it. I think he will come to it naturally or never at all.
Okay,
and that's kind of the world that we live in. You know, he may never put out another album. I mean, Lauryn Hill hasn't. She's not put out an album. She's done songs. She's been featured on stuff. She hasn't done another album. There's always a rumor out there that Lauryn Hill's working on an album.
Yep.
Just hasn't happened because she doesn't feel she needs to. You know, and I don't want to say that there's not good music out there because, I mean, one of my favorite artists is Maxwell, and like me and my girl went to one of his concerts, and we've been to a couple Maxwell concerts, and this last concert was his best concert ever. Like, this concert was the best. The music, the melodies, the sound. He was on one. If he comes out with the next album, I think it's going to be a brilliant piece of work. You can hear it. You can hear the ideas. You can hear it in his voice. I'm up for it. There's a lot of artists out there that just drop albums because that's what pays them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Eminem wants to drop albums. I think he just drops albums because you don't hear it. I haven't heard an Eminem album where I said, oh, all right, this. No, I've heard Eminem drop an album was like, you don't really want it. You ain't hungry for it. You just really, really good. Like, you super talented, and that covers up your passion. But you can tell that there's no love there. Like, that's why I think so many people like this Snoop Dogg album is because you can hear he is having fun. Yeah. He is having a good time in the studio. Like, he wants to be there. This isn't work for him. This isn't a 9 to 5.
I would agree with that.
And so that's where I find, it ain't pushing boundaries. It ain't changing anything. You know, it ain't trying to make a statement. Like, I think GNX talking about let the party die. Mm-hmm. He's saying let the party die. I think he's really saying it's done. Like, what we can stop being so territorial about rap because Drake exists and he's an AI rapper. Okay, this dude's reading off a rap, an AI rap off his phone and calling it a flow. Like, let's just jump.
Well, no, I want to do the wrap up stuff. We're still at the top of the New Year's.
Let's do the wrap up.
Okay, so I listen to these every year. Every year I listen to them. I've been listening to these for the past about 13 years. And I always pick who I think had the better one. So in
Skills had the best one. I listened to others, but I agree. Skills had the best one.
This year, to me, Skills had the best one because I liked the way he ended it at the end. It was still rap, but he changed it over to his poetry flow. And he basically said the same thing about, hey, get ready, it's going to be a bumpy ride and everything. But he covered everything. He added in the pop culture moments that occurred, the significant things. It was real good. And Skills was the one who started doing this, by the way. But
really?
But every year I always decide who makes the best one because Skills is the clean, nice version. Uncle Murder is the raw, grimy version. But this year I think Skills won it based on the end of the wrap up. However, Uncle Murder, this one was pretty damn funny for me. But Uncle Murder's is always funny. But he covered everything from the Diddy case. Well, they both covered that basically, but Uncle Murder went a little bit more deeper on details and stuff. And him also being from New York, he knows a lot more from being in the music industry. But yeah, Skills won this one for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed both of them. Your thoughts?
I didn't listen to Uncle Murder. I saw that one, but I didn't listen to it. But I did listen to the Skills, and I appreciated him shouting out all the women out there who are overqualified for the job but don't get it because of reasons, right? Talked about Kamala Harris and how, they told Biden to sit down because they didn't think he could do the job, but then they voted for a convicted rapist, felon, and tax dodger, and fraudulent man, and dude don't pay for people to do their jobs. That's where we are. And he told the truth. He said there'll be a lot of killing in 2025. There's gonna be a lot of violence in 2025. That's what y'all signed off for. So get ready for it. And that's what I've been telling white people. I said, y'all wanted this, y'all about to be punched in the face with truth. And I don't want to hear no mouths. I do not feel bad for you when they kicking your families out, and when they're stealing your stuff, when you getting punched in the face, if you losing your families, when they burning down your neighborhoods. Like I told this one person, I said, look, I was like, they're like, why did black people burn down businesses? I said, because black people know who the villains are. I said, do you want them to burn down your white neighborhoods, or do you want them to go after Walmart and corporations? Because that's who your villains are. That's woke. When you burn down a Walmart, when you steal a bunch of Samsung TVs and you make those corporations hurt and lose money, when you going after Cartier and Dolce Gabbana, those who are the people who are profiting off of your misery. But I say, if y'all really want it, you want that energy, they can go to your neighborhood and burn to the ground. It ain't gonna give them nothing. They know that's why they don't do it. Because you poor and stupid like everybody else. You ain't a threat. You just a problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, yeah, they call you out, but you don't feel no heat. They'll come after y'all. Y'all ain't need to worry about black people coming after you because you ain't nobody. Capitalism is a threat to us, all of us. That's why we go after that. That is not being woke. That's called going after the people who have their foot on your neck. And that's where we at right now, man. That's the situation we're at. And I love Skills for calling that out, because you know what? A lot of rappers ain't saying shit because they get paid off all of that.
Yeah.
You think Jay-Z ain't getting paid off all of that? I love Kendrick Lamar, but he get paid off for that. He don't get it directly. He don't get the money directly, but TDE is under some other universal company and they get paid off all of that.
Yeah.
That inequality, they get paid off all of that. It's exploitative.
Business. That's how people keep the lights on. That is the way you get to express your art. That is the way you get to have your word heard out into the world. So sometimes you have to take some of that negative with what you're trying to do.
You do. So, but at the end of the day, you are getting paid off of all that. And that's why I think he said, let it burn, let it die. Like, I think he's realized that the problem isn't going to get fixed until it's shameful to say that a lot of white people are going to have to lose everything to wake the hell up. Because like I said, like he says in his music, you know what I'm saying? You can only exploit black people for so long. Now there ain't no more nickels to pull out of those pennies. You can't keep going after people who ain't got nothing left. Like, for hundreds of years, you were able to profit off of that. You could just exploit and exploit and exploit. And now those pennies are coming out of white people. And that means also you hear it in the music. Music is bland and fucking boring. You know why? Because people are bland and boring. Culture is dead. Like, Nas dropped Rap is Dead, but it was 10 years too early, 20 years too early. He was right, but he was early. If he dropped that now, people will be like, yep, you right. Rap is dead.
I think that also applies to the person's age and what their connection is to the music still, though. Like, it's not dead to me because I still find things that I enjoy and listen to and new artists and stuff.
It's not now. What he's saying is, he's not saying that the music won't have good music. There won't be great artists to come out. Okay. What he's saying is that it won't matter. And he's right. We just said Doeche is the Broadway of rap. She should be so big and important right now, but she ain't. She is to me. She ain't to culture. You know why?
Yeah, so
Because it
that's
don't matter.
but that's
And
also
that's
why,
what he
in
meant.
theory, the music is not dead because that music is never alive to anybody else outside of that realm. All the
That
other
means it's
music that is
dead.
playing is still
That's what he
alive to
means
the people
by
that want
being
that music.
dead. Like, man, dog. Like, it used to. Perfect example. Someone was talking about Michael Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, people understand how important Michael Jackson was. And then I was like, what do you mean? He said, when Michael Jackson dropped a video, it was on TV.
Yeah.
It was worldwide. Everybody stopped what they was doing. It could be, dude, it could be a war going on in the Middle East, and ABC and NBC and CBS and TNT stopped everything to play Michael Jackson's video on all those channels.
Yeah.
We ain't never gonna have that again. You know why? Because Michael Jackson was important to the world. He was important to culture. He was important to your humanity. We'll never have that again. And we had glimpses of that. We had moments of that when Ready to Die came out. Everybody stopped what they were doing and was listening to it. When To Live and Die in LA came out, everybody stopped to do what they were doing to hear it. And then everybody talked about it instantly. It was played constantly on the radio. Everybody listened, right? That don't happen no more.
Yeah, and I also think that doesn't happen because the way that people get their music now is so different. When a new song came out, you had to be able to have access to the radio, and they played it at a certain time. Now they can drop an album whenever, and I can choose when I want to listen to it. I can listen to it the moment it dropped. I can wait a few days to listen to it, and it's all up to me when I listen to it. That's why I don't think
to the
that.
culture,
Hold on,
for
hold on,
instance,
hold on.
right?
That's why I don't think
Right.
all that one big star power is ever going to be the same again, just because the way our communication of the medium of music is now, it's so different. It's not one, it's
I
not even
disagree
controlled the
though.
same way
I'll tell you
anymore.
why. I'll tell you why. Taylor Swift and Beyonce are evidence that it still it still exists, but in a microcosm.
Yeah,
Because when Beyonce drops an album, people stop and listen to it. When Taylor Swift drops a new album, Taylor Swift will put out her own music again, and the world stops to hear it, right? But it's rare than it was before, because before there were a number of artists who lived in that world. Prince, Michael Jackson, right? Just were bigger than everything. Bigger than your worries, bigger than poverty, bigger than those things, right? And today, that's isolated to a small pocket of pop music that has that influence. But you would argue that that pop music influence is boring.
Me?
I would
Or
say
you mean in general?
overall is boring. I mean, I'm not saying that the songs are boring. I'm saying that, like, it's a menu, and you can pick the menu, but the menu's always the same. You get some lobster maybe, or you get some steak, or you get a burger.
Okay.
It's lobster, steak, burger. Lobster, steak, burger. It's a different seasoning and a different person making it, but it's still a lobster. It's still a steak. It's still a burger.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, will people listen to that lobster, steak, and burger as if it's new? I mean, you can go back and listen to Prince and go, wow. 60 years later. You see what I'm saying? Like, he came out with albums in the 70s that people are still listening to and getting inspired by. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I love Beyonce and I like Taylor Swift. It ain't gonna inspire me. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe the country album from Beyonce, which is so unique, will inspire some new Shaboozis. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, that's true. But Taylor Swift, no matter how great her albums are, ain't inspiring somebody that they're just gonna sound like her. Shaboozy don't sound like Beyonce. But you know, she opened that door to all these black country artists who had the doors closed on them. So much that these black country artists are more important to country music than any white artist. Shabuzi is more important than any white artist out there. They are irrelevant. Absolutely 100% irrelevant. Nobody's listening to them but the people who listen to them. Everybody hears Shabuzi. And those are facts.
All right. Well, you want to move on to your well, you said you didn't listen to the Uncle Murder rapper, correct?
I didn't listen. I saw it and I didn't listen to it.
Okay,
I started playing, but you can speak on it though. I'm interested in hearing what you thought about the Uncle Murder rap because it had a lot of the same things that.
Uncle Murder, like I said, he usually does the more vulgar, in-depth one, and says the ideas that some people are thinking about the certain situation that occurred throughout the year. It has a little bit more humor or crass humor in it than Skills. Skills Skills doesn't always keep a serious tone. I understand why he kept a serious tone this year, but Uncle Murder is always kind of the same. It's very raunchy, in your face, very detailed, and is usually longer. He usually covers more subjects of what happened throughout the year and everything. Mm-hmm. So, but
yeah, I saw his song was a little bit longer. So Coolio fan, what's up?
Because he pretty much doesn't drop his till like the January 1st. Because at the end of his, he even brings up the situation that just recently occurred on December 4th with Joe Budden and the sleepwalking incident. And he even covers that at it's like almost a little bit.
Okay. Coolio fan has a question. What's your favorite type of music?
What's my favorite type of music?
Yeah.
Rap, hip hop.
Mine's is it's really hard because I love more melodic stuff. So I like classical music, pop, classical music, and independent artists of any genre is what I like the most. I'm too old for most rap. I'll be completely honest with you. Most rap won't get me, and I'm not gonna listen to it. But more of independent artists, folk music, classical music. That's what you're gonna find on my playlist. Honestly, I'll tell you true. The music, if you go on my music right now, it's either music I use in the videos that I create for YouTube, or the song that I listened to most last year was from the Loki soundtrack. So there you go. If you want to get an idea of what I listen to, it's more of that kind of music. There was something you were saying before I wanted to move on.
Oh, no, I was just saying that he keeps his up to date with the very, very last thing that happened in the last bit of the month. So Uncle Murder is always longer. He covers more topics, and he really doesn't put his wrap up out until January 1st, which means that if something happened in the end of December, more than likely he has a bar in there about it. So,
oh, that was the one I wanted to talk about. Thank you for bringing that back. So I was not aware of this until I watched the video from Skills. So was Shannon Sharpe having sex on video or like on audio?
Yeah. Yes, it was like an Instagram live. Somehow or another, the story that Shannon Sharpe said that somehow or another his phone went live, which everybody like, you lying. But there's always been the talk in rumor mill
that he's gay.
That he's gay.
And I think he did that on purpose.
He did that on purpose to kind of sway the idea that he is gay or bi or whatever it is, but for whatever the purposes are. But
why is there so much obsession about his sexuality? I mean, well, that's one thing that's always weird to me.
That's why. But even with that said, you think about it. When you go live, you know how hard it is to go live. And he said he went live on accident.
Bro, you have to have your phone in your hand, turn it to live, and do that. There is no way that was an accident. And I heard it and I was like, what the?
No, that really happened. That was a big thing.
I was like, there's no way this is true. I got to ask Kenny about it.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's batshit crazy, bro. And to make the argument that it was an accident,
yeah,
bro.
They said you know how much you got to click to go live on like Instagram or Facebook or anything.
One, going live on anything is almost inconvenient. Like to do it, to make it happen, it's almost inconvenient. Like to go live on YouTube, you got to go through so many windows and then you got to say, is this made for kids?
Yep.
You gotta
Is this
say,
public or
gotta give
private?
it a title. And then you gotta say, go live now. Dude, you can't do it on accident. It's not possible.
So it kind of reinforced the thing that like, look, if you gay or bi, just say it and we'll get off your back about it. But until you keep covering up, then
who cares? This has
but it's
always
just how
been
people
weird
think.
to me.
It's how the world works, regardless of anything.
You know, because capitalism is created to exploit us and to make us and to separate us from each other. And one of the ways they do it is by taking these little things that have no relevance: your sexuality, your sex, your humanity, what you eat, where you go, where you live, and turn that into something so big so they can exploit it and get paid off of it. And so you can be distracted. You ain't dating Shannon Sharp. Why do you care?
Because people
I don't
nosy.
care. It never once about it.
I'll make it simple. I can come across somebody in life, and sometimes I wonder, like, I wonder if they're straight or not.
See, I've never done that. Because
I'd
be like, so to me,
somebody has certain
this is
tendencies,
how I look
like,
at it. When I meet somebody, I'm be like, only reason I'd ask that is I want to fuck them. And I ain't trying to fuck nobody but my girl. So I ain't gonna ask that question and meet Shannon Sharp and be like, oh, is he gay? Why would I care? And he could be like, oh my God, Darrell, it's so nice to meet you. And I would not give a damn.
You wouldn't have to.
So what?
You wouldn't have to, but that's the thing. It's called being nosy. It's called having a curiosity.
You must be, I'm not saying you in particular, but I feel a lot of people are sexually attracted to him and want to know for a personal reason. They want to know if they could get Shannon Sharp. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, a dude, and you in love with his sexy lips or something. Good, go for it. Maybe his big ass head is sexy to you. I don't fucking know, but I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't care. Man, your sexuality, what you do for 10 to 15 minutes out of your whole day is so irrelevant to me. You know?
It's overall it is irrelevant, but I'm not going to be a person that lies and say I've never looked at something like, I wonder if this person is gay, or I wonder if this person is straight, I wonder if this person is bi. Because
the only reason I would ask that question,
you know, I'll
give you this.
Sometimes when somebody overdoes a trait,
yes, that's the only time when I will give you that. Is if someone's really trying. Like, we had a friend when we were in the Navy, right? And he was always like, oh man, I can't wait to get some pussy. And it would be at the most inopportune time. It'd be like, man,
like that.
Yo,
so you know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be hanging out and it'll be some bullshit moment. He's like, man, I could really use some pussy right now. He's like, what are you talking about?
And then in my head, I would sit there and I want to
like,
this person bringing up pussy like the most weirdest time.
The weirdest times. Or is always trying to use that to like make them, oh man, last night I was in some booty. Like, who cares? We ain't that close.
But
what are you talking about?
So now you understand what I'm saying.
All right, I'll give you that. Yes. Those times right there, I'm like, all right, you trying really, really hard to make me think that you something that I wasn't even thinking about.
You don't know. You don't yet. See, you don't know, but I know. I would think. I'm like, I wonder if this person's trying to cover up something or trying.
Because I did have a friend like that in the Navy.
I would want to know.
We had a friend like that. We were deployed to Afghanistan, and he would really go out of his way. And the thing was though, he was super feminine. He was super feminine, but we didn't think he was gay. We just thought he was a little, just more feminine than some. He must have grew up with a bunch of girls, but he was always trying to prove that he was straight when no one cared one way or another. It meant nothing to us. We hung out the same way. So bad that my buddy Charlie was like, look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. If you gay, you straight, nobody here gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So you making us uncomfortable, and we straight. You make me uncomfortable about the amount of time you talk about pussy. That's crazy.
That is funny, but that's a true thing. That's why I said that. Like, I'm same situation you're describing. I could be like, this person is just taking about this a little too much, and even if you can want to call it the locker room talk, we never bring this up this much.
Not this many times. You're making me uncomfortable. I'm questioning my sexuality. I'm like, I don't think about vagina that much. Am I gay?
For real. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I can say that, hey, it will be a curiosity question. Even though, like you said, though, it would not matter either way, up, down, left, right, straight or crooked. But that would be a natural curiosity, in my opinion, that I know that I would have, be like, oh, what if this person is or is it? Even though I know it doesn't really matter. I don't go around asking people and stuff unless they do something. I'll be like, hey, let me just ask something. Just I want to be clear. That would be my only reason.
Like, dude, is you attracted to me or something? Are you trying to gauge what my sexuality is? Because that's what we were used to get. Like, are you? Because I don't talk about, for one thing, I don't talk about it like that. Because it's already a distraction. Like, sex is already too important in our lives. Like, to be honestly true, for most men, it's already too important. We're trying to mitigate its importance 90% of the time. So the fact that you bring it up every 15 minutes is kind of a problem. With that said, when we're talking about feminine people, let's go ahead and talk about our boy, the most feminine rapper known to man, Drake, who's always trying to make us think daddy gangster. Now, I have a big problem with Drake. My problem with Drake was this. The dude said that he was doing a freestyle by reading it off his phone. Dude. But it sounded like an AI wrote it. And then, man, no lie, YouTubers went and said to AI ChatGPT and said, make me a Drake rap with Shin in it. And it sounded just like the one he was reading off his phone. I said, damn it, if your career ain't over, it's over. For two things that happened with this rap. This so-called freestyle that wasn't a freestyle that he read off his phone. For one, Drake was all about the vibes. So this dude sitting in a silk robe, where it's all open, you can see a little bit of his chest hair, and the fire's popping in the background, and he got a bottle of champagne, and he's just pouring it over himself, and you're like, dude, this is so moist and soft. There's nothing tough about this, man. Hey, nothing you doing here is manly.
For anybody that's watching, he is heavily embellishing the story. He is heavily embellishing the story.
Only a little bit, though. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. It's only a little bit of an embellishment. He didn't have a robe on, but he might as well have one. He had his OVO t-shirt on. It was a cut t-shirt, had holes in it.
All right. So look, all right. I seen this because I had seen the clip already, and then I had seen where Curtis King, he's the dude that I had been listening to. That you listen to the Company Man. I listen more to Curtis King, but they both have they do a bunch of panels and stuff together. So yeah, they broke it down. So this is the only thing I will shoot. I'm not I know Drake music. I think Drake is Drake makes good songs. Let me say that. I've never really liked Drake. I always say he's a great actor that acts as a very great rapper. That's all I ever said.
I'll say this. You know what Drake is? Drake is exactly what Mos Def said he is. He's good shopping music. If you're looking for new panties or underwear or deodorant, you're going to hear Drake in that Target that you're at. They're going to play Drake's freestyle, super moist, reverb, turned all the way up, slow down.
See, I take that. I don't know. Drake makes good music. Drake has produced some good music.
He does. He makes good
but
music
also,
to go shopping
you gotta
to.
Remember, I'm a person that has known of Drake for an extremely long time. And I've always understood, because that whole rapping off of your phone, calling it a freestyle, he's the one that got burnt for it, because this is not the first time he's done this.
No, it's not. So this is the same guy who used to hard ER when he was saying the N-word. This is just crazy. So he's like, oh, you a cool nigger. Oh, what are you talking about, bro?
Drake is a very great actor who just acts like a very great rapper. And I've always said
you're right.
That. So
that was
all my stance. People always get mad when I say that, but like, look, now all of a sudden it's coming all true. But here nor there.
That's true. Kenny was Drake's op before Drake had ops.
Basically, because I have been seeing. I'm like, no, he's an actor that acts a great actor that raps like a great rapper, and everybody. No,
said that from day one.
He has a whole writing team, a whole camp squad 40, who is his producer, creates a perfect sound for him. He's smart enough to know that when he hears a new sound coming out, he quickly hops on it, gives them the Drake stimulus package. No, Business Moves and everything was perfect. I'm no cap about that. The thing I do have, and this is the only reason I'm shooting him some bail on this one, is that if ChatGPT or any AI learning system can understand the rhyme pattern that you do, it would also make sense that if you say, give me a rap like Drake, that it may be a rap that sounds just like Drake would if him and his writing team made a song of what that freestyle was supposed to be.
Here's the conflict, though. This is where I give him no out.
All right.
Because you can go to ChatGPT right now and say, give me a Nas rap, and it won't sound like Nas. Give me a Jay-Z rap, it won't. You know why it won't? Because Nas will drop an album, and none of the songs sound the same. Drake dropped an album, and every single song sounds exact. Like Drake will drop 30 songs when he should have just dropped an EP, because none of the songs are unique. They are all by an algorithm. They all, you know what the problem is? It's crazy, because I remember it was a rock star, and he was like, "I make hit songs because I follow a algorithm. I follow a set standard of things." He says, that's how I make hit songs. The problem is, even he admitted, ain't nothing about what I do is unique. It could be copied, it can sound, and it doesn't, and it's not going to be timeless. No, think about it.
Hold on, before you go to the next step. There is a comedian that does a bit with a guitar. He brings up the fact that like all popular songs got these same 8 chords, and he sings a couple of songs that everybody know. And then he said, "Look, I'm gonna make a song up," and he just makes up something random. And then by the end of the show, he had the crowd sing it back. You'll see how that works in your mind. But it was, I forgot who the comedian was. It was some white comedian, but he does a bit with a guitar, and he says all popular songs have these same 8 chords, and he'll play the chord, and everybody's kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then he'll sing like a couple of songs, and everybody know all the songs. Then he'll make up a song with what the crowd would give him, and by the end of the show, he only did it like once. They can sing the whole part back to him because it just works.
Now, what's one of the biggest things knocks against Nas? This will let me know if you know Nas as a rapper. What's the biggest knock against Nas?
In my opinion, the biggest knock is that he is more of a poet, and the things that he talk about, he did not experience firsthand.
Hey,
that is one of the biggest
knocks. The biggest knocks from most people against Nas is production and the poetry part, right?
But so that's not necessarily Nas's fault.
No, those are knocks against Nas. Those are things that Jay-Z would attack him on constantly. People like non-music people, non-connoisseurs of music, knocks against Nas is that he doesn't put any effort into production, and he puts more effort into what he's writing, and because of that, his music isn't super popular. And it's true. Some of my favorite Nas songs, 90% of people won't listen to because you have to put in the effort. Here's the problem. You couldn't go to ChatGPT and pull a song off and say, this is a Nas song, because it would just be poetry, and poetry isn't unique in itself. It's unique to the person because the passion of what they're talking about.
True, I'll give you that.
So when Nas says, I saw a bird fly across a broken sky, it is irrelevant unless it's in the context of what he's talking about. So I could create a beautiful piece of poetry, but it'd be irrelevant because Nas is telling a unique story, and ChatGPT can't tell a story because it doesn't have a life experience. And that's where I say that conflict with why I say Drake is an AI rapper is because if an AI rapper can steal your style, you don't have a real style. You have an algorithm. And Drake is an algorithm, and Nas is a style. And like one of my favorite comedians said, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much influence you have, you can't buy cool. And Nas is cool. You can't buy that. You can't replicate it. It's either who you are or not. You meet Nas, You're like, damn, man, that motherfucker cool as hell. He make this seem cool. Drake ain't cool. Drake is an algorithm, and that's what he is. I'm his op from now on till the day he dies. I'm tired of Drake. I've been a Drake hater from day one, and I was a Drake hater with like, you couldn't put a reason to it. Like, why don't you like Drake? I just don't like him. I don't know why I
would
don't like him.
always tell my exact reason why I didn't like. Well, the way
I just didn't like him. There was something about him I just didn't like.
Authentic rapper to me.
He wasn't authentic. He just wasn't cool.
What? Talking about
Strange said, "Don't end it yet. I just got here because we know we're close to the end."
Yeah. Yep, we are getting ready to wrap
That's
it
funny.
So you want to do any closing stuff?
All right, so I'm gonna talk about my motherfucking Buckeyes beating asses, right? So the Buckeyes showed up. People were talking mad shit about us, that we ain't good enough. We beat the shit out of Tennessee. We smoked Oregon. And if we lose today, it's a win to me. Now, if we win today, greatest year ever. Because honestly, my team putting boot to ass. Boot to ass. No, I am not. I never bet on my team. I am not that guy, because when you bet on your team, you are asking to take an L. Now, I will say this. Only one time have I put money on the Buckeyes. I won. It was when they were playing Oregon many years ago for the national championship. And I put money on it, but I love my team. I won once. There's two things that happens. I went and played roulette once and won like $800. And then I played roulette a second time a couple years ago, and I won like $100. And I was like, nah, ain't worth it. Give me my money, right? I bet once on the Buckeyes, and I won a bunch of dollars from it on a small bet, and I won't do it again because I feel like I'll be tempting fate. You can't always win, right? And so I want my Buckeyes to have the most respect from me. I ain't betting on them, and I ain't betting against them. I pray they bring that same energy that they brought against Tennessee and against Oregon, and put that boot to ass again against Texas tonight. Yeah, you know, I ain't that. I feel it. I believe in karma, right? And karma to me makes me feel like if I make this decision and I do it, it's going to compromise my team. And I don't want to do that.
Nope.
Well, you're glitching out on the screen.
I see
so
it.
I think it's time to shut it down.
Wait, am I still glitching? I'm still glitching. Wait, can you hear me?
Oh, you sound fine, but you're glitching out.
That's crazy. It looked like Max Headroom.
Max Headroom over there. So with that said, thanks for Coolio fan. Thanks for coming through. Strange Strain. You're going to have to watch from the beginning. We had some good conversations. But Kenny, in, out. So we're just going to break it down and go to sleep.
Hold on. Let me if I do this. Am I still glitching out?
Yeah, you're still glitching out.
Damn. All right. Well, shout out to everybody that came through. Appreciate that. Thank y'all. We'll be here next Friday, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. And we'll figure out what we're going to talk about next. Thank y'all.
All
Please.
Right.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was like, all right.
I said, if y'all please, if go over to YouTube, hit the like button, give us a sub over there, subscribe over there. Also, we stream on Kick and Twitch and also Facebook. So if you have any of those platforms, go through, drop a comment, just say hi, say what's up, say you like the show, say if you got something you particularly want us to discuss and talk about, let us know. This is Kenny with Dianoia.
And this is Darrell. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully Glitching out.